79% of men over 40 worry about being forgotten. I'm going to show you the exact three-part framework that transforms legacy anxiety into meaningful contribution. This isn't about building monuments. This is about understanding what creates lasting impact. By the end, you'll have a clear system you can use today to build contribution that matters. And if you stay until the end, I'll reveal the one truth about legacy that changes everything. Welcome back to Deeper Dudes. But first, let's talk about why so many successful men are haunted by the fear of being forgotten. You built a business, you achieved success, you provided for your family, but then it hits you. In 2 generations, nobody will remember your name. Your achievements will be footnotes. Your life's work will dissolve into history. Research from Psychology of Men shows that 79% of men over 40 express significant concern about legacy and being remembered, compared to just 52% of women. This isn't vanity. This is a fundamental crisis of meaning that strikes when men become aware of their own mortality. And here's what makes it worse. We're taught that success equals significance. Build something big enough and you'll matter. Achieve enough and you'll be remembered. What a load of crap. The wealthiest, most successful men in history are forgotten within decades. You know this deep down, but nobody teaches us how to build contribution that actually transcends our mortality. So we chase bigger achievements, hoping scale equals permanence, while the anxiety grows louder. I know because I lived it. I spent years building a business, telling myself that success would create lasting impact. Then I realized that even massive companies are forgotten. Industries change, markets evolve, and within a generation or two, everything you built becomes just another line in a history book that nobody reads. The question that haunted me was, if everything disappears, what's the point of building anything? But legacy isn't about being remembered. It's about who you become in service of others. And here's exactly how to build it. The first element is identity-based contribution. Psychologists studying generativity, the drive to contribute beyond yourself, found that men who focus on developing character rather than building monuments report significantly higher life satisfaction and lower legacy anxiety. This is called the generativity framework. Instead of asking what will people remember about me, you ask who am I becoming through my contribution. The shift is profound. Here's how to apply it. First, identify 3 character qualities you want to embody, not achievements you want to accomplish. Not CEO, father, entrepreneur, but qualities like integrity, wisdom, courage. Second, define how each quality shows up in daily behavior. Integrity means keeping promises even when nobody is watching. Wisdom means sharing hard-earned knowledge freely. Courage means having difficult conversations when easier to avoid. Third, measure your days by whether you embodied those qualities, not by what you accomplished. Did you act with integrity today? Did you share wisdom? Did you demonstrate courage? When I shifted from measuring achievements to measuring character, the anxiety dissolved. Because character-based contribution doesn't require anyone to remember you. It creates ripples that extend beyond your awareness. Your integrity inspires someone who inspires someone else. Your wisdom shapes thinking that shapes generations. Your courage models behavior that transforms families. Small character moments create infinite impact. And once you have this foundation, the next element amplifies your contribution exponentially. Here's the truth about legacy that most men miss completely. The people who create the most lasting impact are rarely the ones who tried to be remembered. They're the ones who invested deeply in developing others. Research on mentorship and generativity shows that men who dedicate significant energy to raising up the next generation, whether through formal mentoring, teaching, or parenting with intentionality, experience dramatic reductions in legacy anxiety and increases in meaning. This is called multiplicative impact. Your direct contribution is limited by your lifespan and capacity. But your contribution through others multiplies exponentially across time and space. Think about the teacher who shaped how you think. You don't just carry their lessons. You pass them forward in how you teach your children, mentor your team, share insights with friends. That teacher's impact multiplies through you, through everyone you influence, through everyone they influence. This is how lasting contribution actually works. Not through monuments, but through multiplication. This leads directly into the second element of the framework. Before we go any further, I want to pause for something important. None of what we've been talking about matters if we don't have the energy and clarity to actually implement it. Look, we can't become the best version of ourselves on a broken foundation. We all know what it feels like to wake up exhausted. No energy, poor focus, and zero motivation. I've been there. I also know what it feels like when I get good, restful sleep, targeted therapy, and the right supplements. They form an essential part of this healing journey we're on. I've personally tested more things than you can imagine. I'm like your personal guinea pig. Everything linked in the description below I personally love. These are some of the best science-backed and extensively tested products. And if you grab anything through my links, you'll be supporting this channel at zero cost to you. Thanks for taking a look. Now let's get back to it. If this is helping, please hit that like button so more men struggling with legacy anxiety can find this when they need it most. And drop a comment. What's one character quality you want to embody more fully? I read every single one. Now, here's where legacy anxiety actually comes from, and why understanding this changes everything. The fear of being forgotten isn't really about being remembered. It's about the terror that your life didn't matter, that you'll die without making a meaningful difference. Psychologists call this existential insignificance, the fear that your existence was ultimately pointless against the vastness of time and space. And men are particularly vulnerable because we're socialized to tie our worth to external achievement and lasting impact. But here's what the research reveals. A study on mortality awareness and meaning-making found that people who shifted from seeking legacy, being remembered, to seeking contribution, making a difference, experienced significantly lower death anxiety and higher life satisfaction. This means the problem isn't that you won't be remembered. The problem is you're measuring significance by the wrong metric. Significance isn't about permanence. It's about depth of positive impact during your lifetime. And that insight leads directly into the second element. Element 2, depth over scale. The legacy anxiety trap tells you that bigger impact equals more significance. Build a bigger company, reach more people, create something massive. But research on prosocial behavior and well-being reveals something counterintuitive. Deep, personal impact on a small number of people creates more meaning and satisfaction than shallow impact on large numbers. This is the depth principle. One life transformed deeply matters more than 1,000 lives touched superficially. Here's how to apply it. First, identify 3 to 5 people you can invest in deeply over the next year. Not hundreds, not your entire network. 3 to 5 people where you can create genuine transformation. These might be your children, a mentee, a struggling friend, a team member with potential. Second, commit specific recurring time to each relationship, not occasional coffee when convenient. Structured, protected time where you show up consistently. Weekly conversations, monthly deep work sessions, quarterly reflection and planning. Third, focus each interaction on their development, not your agenda. Ask powerful questions. Share hard-won wisdom. Challenge limiting beliefs. Celebrate growth. Model the character you want them to embody. When I stopped trying to impact thousands through content and started investing deeply in 5 men through intensive mentoring, everything changed. I watched one guy transform his marriage using principles we discussed. He's now teaching those same principles to his son. That's multiplication. Another man applied frameworks we developed to rebuild his business after failure. He's now mentoring other entrepreneurs through similar struggles. That's legacy. Deep investment in a few people creates ripples that extend infinitely further than shallow impact on many. And this is where most men get legacy completely wrong. We think legacy is what people say about us at our funeral. But real legacy is who people become because they knew us, the characters they develop, the wisdom they carry forward, the courage they model for others. This cannot be measured, it cannot be controlled, and it definitely cannot be remembered in any conventional sense. But it's the only contribution that actually lasts. Now, there's one more element that brings this entire framework together, and it's the most powerful. Element 3, present moment mastery. Here's the paradox that dissolves legacy anxiety completely. The men most concerned about their future legacy are the ones least present in the current moment. They're so focused on what they'll leave behind that they miss the opportunities for contribution right in front of them. But neuroscience research on flow states and meaning shows that peak contribution, the moments where you create the deepest impact, happens when you're fully absorbed in the present challenge, not when you're worried about future remembrance. This is present contribution. Legacy isn't built by thinking about legacy. It's built by showing up fully in each moment of service. Here's the system. First, start each day by asking not, "What will I accomplish today?" but "Who will I serve today, and how will I show up for them?" This shifts your focus from output to presence. Second, during each interaction, practice full attention presence. Put away your phone. Make eye contact. Listen not to respond, but to understand. Be completely there. Third, end each day by reflecting on moments where you contributed character, showed integrity, shared wisdom, demonstrated courage, invested in someone's growth. Not achievements, not progress on goals. Moments of genuine presence and service. When I started measuring my days this way, legacy anxiety evaporated. Because I wasn't building towards some future remembrance. I was contributing fully in each present moment. And the research confirms this. A study on eudaimonic well-being, meaning-based happiness, found that people who focus on daily contribution and present moment service report dramatically higher life satisfaction than those focused on leaving a lasting legacy. The men who stop worrying about being remembered and start focusing on being present create the deepest, most lasting impact. Here's why. When you're fully present, you notice opportunities for contribution that anxious future focus blinds you to. The conversation where someone needs encouragement. The moment where your child needs wisdom. The interaction where your integrity will model something powerful. These micro moments of contribution accumulate into transformative impact. Not because anyone will remember them, but because they shape who people become. And when you combine all three elements, identity-based contribution gives you character worth embodying. Depth over scale gives you people worth investing in deeply. Present moment mastery gives you the awareness to contribute fully right now. This is how men achieve true significance, not by being remembered, but by becoming someone worth knowing. Not by building monuments, but by developing people. Not by chasing legacy, but by embracing contribution. The 79% of men worried about being forgotten are asking the wrong question. The question isn't, will I be remembered? The question is, am I contributing meaningfully right now to the people in front of me? When you shift that focus, legacy anxiety dissolves. Because you're no longer trying to control what you can't control, future remembrance. You're investing in what you can control, present contribution. And ironically, that's exactly how lasting impact is actually built. Drop a comment. Which element are you starting with? Number 1, identity-based contribution. Number 2, depth over scale. Or number 3, present moment mastery. And here's the deeper question. Who is one person you can invest in deeply starting this week? Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We hope you found it helpful. If you did, please be sure to give it a like and maybe even subscribe to Deeper Dudes. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. It all helps the channel more than you know. And it also tells us that we should make more content like this. We post videos every other day that tackle real challenges men face. So if you like this one, you're probably going to enjoy the others. Remember, struggling doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. The fact that you took time to watch this means you're ready for something better. Thanks again for watching and for checking out all the amazing products in the description below. They could jumpstart your healing journey. Catch you in the next one, Deeper Dudes. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, keep thriving.